fucking early bastard bike thing tomorrow morning. It's called 7 as well.
Definitely started recording.
Oh, is it?
That's funny.
Well,
I think on the front's a bit narrower, but I think we're good.
is that just because of the shape of the screen, do you think?
Yeah, we're both in it. Both in it. See how it goes. Nobody's in the sun anyway.
In a matter of time, then you can't resist temptation coming to walk in front of the camera.
No. Right, episode 2.
Did you ever upload the first one? Did
No.
it make it as far as YouTube?
No, not yet.
I
was just thinking about afterwards. I was like, the intro bit was just a bit
right.
amateur and a bit cowboy and
Well, practice, isn't it?
yeah, and then yeah, I just wanted to get that like highlight reel, all the clips of us doing all the other stuff, and then just put that at the beginning with a bit of music, and then introduce you, Pangea, as like the opening scene, if you know,
Yeah.
and then play on the episode. But yeah, we've got time to do that. But yeah, man, job done. Finished.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was wild. It was wicked. I still can't go over the fact the winner took an hour off the course record and finished in like 9 hours. And I finished in 16 and a half over.
So what would that have been in terms of per mile?
Oh, my head's not
No, I need
to work that
I need
much.
a calculator for that.
Yeah, fast.
Mm.
I mean, ridiculous. He was like the Slender Man, legging it through the mountains.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I think his name was Mark, someone. But yeah, great event. It was awesome.
So how many in each distance were there?
Couldn't tell you. Don't know. I haven't even looked at the stats yet.
But it looked. So I was tracking you online, and it looked like there were a lot of dots.
Yeah.
And the only distinction they made was girls were red
Okay.
and boys were blue.
Okay. Yeah, I think the cut-off entries was 350
Okay.
for the 50 mile.
Oh, okay.
And I remember around the race, someone said to me there was between 50 and 80 people in the 100. But again, I don't know how many people finished.
Yeah.
I'll get some actual stats for putting on the video later about how I got on and how many people, all the rest of it, elevation. But yeah, I think I finished at 48.2 miles. It was over 14,000 feet of climbing.
Right.
So the route takes you from Betsequoiad and it runs up the River Dee, and you basically, from there, go through some forest, I couldn't tell you the name of it, and you end up heading northbound to Trefan and doing Heather Terrace, which I've never done before, so it was on the south side. So that was pretty cool. It was a route I've not done.
Yeah.
You don't go over to the very top, you just kind of skirt around the top.
That's good.
And then you head west off Trefan, back down towards kind of the road at the bottom of Penny Pass, where the checkpoint, first checkpoint is. No, second checkpoint. Hello. And that's where I saw Lucy, checkpoint 2.
Right.
So that was about, I think, 13 miles in.
I think she said that I got a message from her to say back's feeling a bit tight, or hips feeling a bit tight.
Yeah, I mean, that whole week, 2 weeks, like, I was sort of moaning about my back, wasn't I, before, like niggly up top, and then my lower backs were twisting, and my calves a bit stiff, and I think it was a lack of movement and just everything playing up before the big day. But on the day, did like a bit of dynamic, like lunging, a bit of stretching, not too much. I thought I'm just going to be going slow, so I just warm up as it went, and absolutely fine. Like, didn't have any other than like wear and tear from knees and stuff. Like coming down, some of the descents were a bit tricky, and I smashed my foot, kind of the side of my foot. That rock just went into the arch of my foot a bit, so it was a bit bruised there. But actually, compared to the Jurassic, the Rab 1er, I didn't. Yeah, I held up pretty well.
Yeah,
I'm really happy.
What was the terrain like underfoot?
Yeah, rocks, big. Well, it depends, because you come off of Trefan's a bit rocky, scrabbly, marshy, heathery, kind of like it's not a path, it's just a track. So you have to put your foot placement. Then it's like a bit marshy, coming off with some big rocks and slippy. And then going up Snowdon, the pig trail is obviously like a purpose. Rocks are in place, so steps and like a gravel track, and then more steps, and then you get close to the top, it becomes a bit like big slanting rocks where you have to slide across and put your foot in the cracks. And so yeah, so off checkpoint 2, saw Lucy and Kit. That was really nice. Kit was having a nap because obviously he was up at the start line as well, bless him. So he was tired and Lucy was knackered. And I think Lucy took these for a walk just at the bottom of Penny Pass. So we got up that and kind of started to be a bit tired and a bit crampy actually. And my like groin, my right leg, I think just from lifting.
That might have been what she mentioned in the message, yeah.
Yeah, so I kind of had to play that. I stopped and stretched a few times and it kind of was okay, but it did start coming back and I thought I'm in trouble because I'm tired. I'm only like 40, 50 miles in, I've got loads more to go. And I decided to hit it early. So I heard previously Jasmine Paris, who was the first woman finisher of the Barclay Marathons.
Oh, I knew that name, yeah.
Yeah, and she does the spine, she broke the record for the spine. I don't know if it was this year previously, but she's the woman that she did the spine, the full race, and she was breastfeeding.
I was going to say, did she stop to feed her baby? Yeah.
I think, it's unbelievable.
And still broke the record or something
like that, yeah. But she advocates stock cubes.
Oh, yeah.
So it's one of those cheap things, it's not gimmicky. A stock cube has got loads of salt, loads of minerals. It obviously tastes a bit intense, a bit rank when you bite into it.
So you don't mix it with water, you literally...
I literally put it in my mouth, chewed it, swished it round, swallowed it. You know what? I didn't get cramp again for the rest of the run.
Okay.
So that definitely works.
And do you go for a premium brand or are you like a little?
No, I co-op on this one because it was the only one that was local. It was the only one that was local.
Is there a difference?
And I went, and you got the option to have beef, chicken,
vegetable.
I went veggie. But
that's really interesting.
It was very disgustingly intense.
Really easy to take with you.
Yeah, light as anything.
Yeah.
And honestly, I can't tell you how I thought I was going to be in trouble, and all of a sudden I just didn't get cramp anymore.
It's funny, isn't it? Most potassium, sodium levels.
Yeah.
There's obviously a lot of science in that.
Yeah. But I did have an upset stomach.
You did?
I think, yeah, because
you were eating stock cubes.
Well, yeah. But it's actually ran with me most of the time.
You're eating something designed for roasting chicken.
That's fair. Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
But
I'll try them.
Because I had a massive dinner. We had like chili the night before, garlic bread and crisps and everything, just to get loads of food in and a bit of protein. And then in the morning of chocolate porridge with like cashews and caramel, and made it a proper like Snickers porridge bowl.
Yeah.
And I was so full, started running. I think there was a bit of digesting. Because it was like, what's your body doing? Is it running? Is it my digesting? What am I doing? And it's like a bit washing machine stomach. It didn't really leave me a bit crampy in my stomach, and because you're eating shit then for the rest of the day, like.
Is this before you started or once you started running?
Once I started running, yeah. It's almost like stitchy, cramp, a bit upset.
Doesn't strike me as a sort of event that has like Portaloos en route.
No, wild. But even I actually tried, couldn't go.
Oh.
So yeah, I don't know. Because I was very consciously trying to make myself feel better, let's say, but it didn't happen. But so I think it was. I normally take Element as my hydration. I finished my first 2 bottles and then they had Tailwind on tap at the first checkpoint, and I wanted to get away quick, put Tailwind in, and I think it's just different, so maybe I just wasn't used to it. So anyway, I kind of clocked that early, and the next checkpoint I was like, no, I'm alright on the Tailwind, and I went back on my Element, and it didn't seem to get any worse.
Okay.
And then I just kind of like flushed that. I drank a load of water and tried to flush it out, but you're just eating rubbish. You're eating cereal bars, you're eating like kind of rubbishy, sugary. The cereal bar and Co-op that had the most amount of calories in was a deliciously Ella not diet, but like the healthy good ones. Yeah, they had like 200. Basically, they're bigger, but yeah, they tasted better than the usual stuff. And you're just eating that on the way around. I chucked a load of watermelon, like that was cut up, and just ate that. And
so you bought your fueling stuff on the car on the way to the race, did you? Is that what you're...
the night before, yeah. But they're good at the checkpoints. They have loads of stuff laid out, and I tried to stay away from the sweets because I normally, if I have sugar, I bonk. But actually,
we talked about this last time, and I was quite interested in that because obviously, the whole principle of gels and everything is about getting like carbs. Easily accessible carbs in. So I was quite interested to see how
that's just how because I used to get really shaky, cold sweats, didn't really know, a bit out of body experience almost. And I think it was because I was mismanaging my sugar levels, or too much or too little. So I generally stick away from it now. But actually, one of the best decisions I made about, I think it was checkpoint 3 or 4, must have been 3 because I started it early. Started feeling a bit woozy and thought, I'm not overeating enough, or I'm not eating the right thing, so I thought I'm just going to smash a load of sugar at the next checkpoint. So I had a big glass of flat Coke,
That's it.
Grabbed a handful of sugary sweets.
Yeah.
Smashed them. Some Skittles for the run on the way out. And I had a banana and some nuts to try and get some fats in. Did my fluids, went off. Actually, I was just on a level then for the rest of the run. The next checkpoint, flat Coke, more sweets.
Yeah.
I was fine.
What is it about flat Coke? Do you think it's just the sugar?
I think it's just the pure rubbish that's in it. Yeah.
Because that's a bit of
a bit of caffeine, loads of sugar.
A bit of urban myth around ultra endurance.
It really works though. It really works.
So Carrie, my wife, has done a few 100Kers, and she finds flat Coke. She was drinking flat Coke and orange juice, and she found that really upset her bladder. And she found it very difficult to finish on one of them because she was. But I don't know whether that was just the fact that you did 100K.
Maybe she's just not used to it though. Because
well, exactly.
You got to repeat what you've done so your body knows about it when it's a bit stressed. Because that was the biggest thing I was thinking was my body's just going to feel really stressed.
Yeah.
But no, it was. I mean, yeah. So once we got up Snowdon, that was all rocky path. Got to the top. Weather, I've got to admit, that was pretty sketchy. There was, because it was obviously an open route. There was all, you know, the public were up there. I say the public, people not in the race, but you know, people with their kids and people not dressed properly. And the weather, where it wasn't really hot, it wasn't really cold. It was literally perfect grey running temperature.
Oh, right, okay.
It was perfect. But I got to the top of Snowdon and the gusts came in really strong, probably 60 mile an hour, I reckon.
Okay.
Like blowing me off my feet type
Oh,
thing.
blimey.
And there were a lot of people worried, you know, when you're walking and passing each other, because people going up, people coming down, there's a race going on. It's misty, it's wet because it's raining now, and like your coat's going on, and there's, honestly, it was just one of those, guys, I don't think anyone else should be up here apart from people like racing, because you guys, you're all just stopping, and we're trying to jump around you and navigate, and yeah, people in flip-flops. Anyway, so we, the race organisers, GB Ultra, they decided to turn us around at the shoulder. They didn't let us go up to the top. They turned us around so we could get back down and off. So we went up the pig track and then down the miners.
Okay.
So, but yeah, it was a bit sketchy at the top, just in regards to the public being there, and you had to find a better route all around. There was a lot of people taking shortcuts and, you know, potentially slipping off rocks. And yeah, so anyway, that was. But no, it's worst experience of Snowdon, of me climbing, getting to Big Snowdon, I reckon. Just generally, but still, it was fine. Didn't feel concerned at all. It was just more inconvenient. There was loads of people up there, and it was a bit sketchy. But yeah, come down the miners, and that was when the brakes on the knees were starting to feel it a little bit. Yeah, got to the bottom, took the coat off because I was getting too hot. Ran around the lakes. It's a few miles from the lakes down to checkpoint. So checkpoint 2 and 3 were the same because checkpoint 2 basically went up and did a loop round up around Snowdon, up the pig, down the miners, and then you get back to the same checkpoint and you disappear back up the Glidders from the way you came. And then the Glidders it's a bit of a, not boring, but it's more of a walk. It's like
long
a bit
climb.
grassy, marshy, yeah. It's just the same gradient for a long time.
Yeah.
But again, felt okay. The biggest thing, I just felt okay. I didn't feel shit, I didn't feel amazing. I was solid. If I needed to dig in, I had something there. And if I needed to back off, I backed off. And I was really pleased. I just felt within myself.
You've got that patience though of not pushing too hard early. One of my biggest weaknesses in those is I felt fine. You know, that runner's high you get at the beginning, or getting caught up, and
I think the longer the distance, the more you realise that
more disciplined.
You can either, it's like the match, right? You can either burn a lot now, or you can just burn it steadily until you get down to the wick in like 40 miles.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then up the Glidders, and the Glidders is like proper lungy, big, massive rocks from where the earth is just like split open for like miles, and it was cold up there as well, to be fair. So it started to get a little bit like, I need to eat more because I'm starting to feel a bit cold, feet are starting to get a bit sore, and the descent off the Glidders down, we come off the north side, and then we ended up being, so you eventually come down Devil's Kitchen, which is really scrabbly and really jagged and sharp rocks. But
it's the names I can't get over. Devil's Kitchen.
Yeah.
How did they come up with that?
They're just it's a messy, shardy, slaty.
Right.
It's not a climb. The footing is really loose, so it's all sharp, jaggedy rocks, and it's come down. But it was like that, and everyone was suffering away down there. But I seem to be quite good at descending. I seem to be able to free flow quite quick. So a lot of people would say overtake me on the way up, and be like, "See you in a minute," because we've basically been piggybacking most of the time. And then I'll go down a downhill, and through not putting any more effort in, just maybe quick feet, maybe just free falling, I managed to overtake quite a lot of people on the downhills, and then we get to a flat where the ups they take me, and on the flat it was just like, seeing how you go, but yeah. And then got off to Glenogwyn, was where, go off Devil's Kitchen, down past the lake, down to Glenogwyn, and then at the reservoir there, go around the north side, and then they put in a detour for some reason. So I thought, they'll route us back the way we came at the start, because you're basically a circular route eventually. But they didn't. They routed us, and we fucked off somewhere else for another 10 miles, around another lake. And then all I could see on my watch on the elevation was I've already done the big 3, which in my head was like tick. But then you had this like mound and then a kicker for the last bit. I thought, I wonder what that is. And actually, because you've done those 3 in your head, you're like, it's nowhere near as bad as that. So as soon as it arrives, you're like, oh, am I on it? I'll just
that
keep
mental
walking.
thing. I've done that. I can definitely do this.
And then it was starting to get. It was a bit tedious because everyone's a bit tired by that point. You're kind of like, I'm going to run to that tree in the distance and stop, and then you walk for a bit, and then you go, I'm going to run to that gate. Right, I'm going to stop, and it's like a run walk at that point then.
Yeah.
And then it started to get a bit wet, and a bit muddy underfoot, and kind of because the crowd's kind of separated where they're going to be placed probably by that point. You don't really catch people, but they don't equally catch you. So I ended up getting up to this guy, Gabriel, really nice guy, Gabby, and he was in front of me, and every time he kind of ran, I was running, and every time he'd walk, I would walk, and in the end I was like, it's getting dark, mate, do you want to just team up? Because it's nicer in the dark, when you're not on your own, not route checking, not doubting yourself. And he was like, yeah, nice idea, and he was really sound bloke, so we probably did the last 10, 12 miles together, route checking, chatting shit, nonsense, like he's got 2 kids, a wife, and just really nice guys. And then we found a couple of stragglers that had lost their batteries, had run out on their Garmins, didn't know where they were going on the route map, so turns out they were doing the 100. So we're like, can we follow you guys? Do you know the route back? And we're like, well, yeah, but what are you going to do when we get back and you're already halfway? But so anyway,
They're probably still out there.
Maybe not. But, yeah, so me and Gabby were having a little laugh and a joke about that. It's funny how you just like meet people, get on with them, and then you're like, I'm never going to see you again. Thanks very much. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, that connection.
Yeah, it was. It was the whole way through. I kept thinking honestly. It was just, I'm high as a kite right now. First off, I finished, so I set out to do what I wanted to do. I got a silver medal.
I got around to asking you about what colour the medal was.
So the first 100 people get a gold version of the medal, the second 100 people get a silver, and then everyone else gets a bronze, but it's like a finisher's medal.
Yeah, and, so there's some status to your medal.
There's like a...
Beyond the competing.
I just wanted to finish in the time limit, and because I knew it was going to be savage climbing, and distance was furthest distance I've ever run with the climbing. And then the fact that when we were finishing, I didn't know where we were. I turned my phone on airplane mode the whole time, so I didn't have any signal, didn't take any tech. I had all these ideas of taking the GoPro. I was going to do vlogs when I was feeling shit. I was going to record me running down some hills. I was going to get some footage. I decided not to take it at the beginning, and you know what? Best thing I ever did.
I agree. I agree.
In that whole 16 and a half, 17 hours it took me in the mountains, I was just in my head.
Yeah.
I forgot my headphones, probably the best thing that could have happened, didn't have any music.
Yeah.
I was literally I was in the zone, I was completely present, I was taking it all in, I was interacting with like the environment, the people, the race organisers, the checkpoints, you were just in it, and it felt fucking amazing.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
So I kept checking in with the 5 things we're trying to focus on. The sleep, I thought the sleep's not really relevant because we're obviously not sleep deprived. It's not multi-days,
but in your preparation, sleep would have been a thought.
So I did have a bit of a shit night's sleep the night before.
And you're usually a good sleeper.
Yeah, so I think it was just a bit of anxiety, big race, somewhere new, like you said, different bed, different environment. Like, have I packed everything? Are we going to get to the start on time? Is my alarm set? Blah blah blah. But yeah, so sleep wasn't really a thing, but the social connection was, like, just being friendly and being what you give out, you get back, like energy. I was just trying to be as positive as possible, to the point where basically I heard somewhere that if you smile, obviously it takes less effort than frowning.
Yeah, less muscles. Is it?
Yeah,
less muscles?
Yeah.
Less muscles involved in smiling than frowning or something.
But the feeling of smiling is actually provoking to your body for like energy or pick me up, or so anyway, they're saying if you're ever in a tough time, I think that's why you bite onto a pencil, to keep your mouth
Oh, right, okay.
open, and apparently even that sparks a reaction to
some sort of neurochemical.
I mean, I had visions
impact.
of, you know, the movies you see where someone's getting their leg cut off and they're like, bite onto this. And
Oh,
the mouth's
right.
going the same thing. But anyway, I was trying to purposefully, if I was feeling a bit shit, smiling. I know it sounds a bit stupid, looking like a psychopath running down the side of a hill.
Slightly delirious.
But even just like laughing at the situation or laughing at tripping over or slipping or whatever, laughing at where you're at. And all of a sudden you just don't feel shit. You just, I don't know, there's something to it. So I was social connection, beating Gabby and doing the last bit with him, trying to be positive, fueling, and it was more just recognising the fueling for me on that. Am I feeling shit? No, okay, going okay, just keep on top of it, keep drinking, keep eating. Am I feeling a bit out of body, like a bit woozy? Yes, right, I need to either eat more, or if my stomach's cramping, I'm not feeling very good, I need to eat something different. Did that, paid dividends, and took the stock cube, stopped my cramps.
I think the stock cube's a revelation.
Oh, honestly, it was wicked. Yeah, and then obviously the movement side, well, that's dealt with because I did 90,000 steps that day.
90,000!
So my vitality, you know what vitality? You know, you get points.
Oh, you've probably got like a bonus for your life insurance.
No, so it goes gold, bronze, silver, gold, and you get to gold, I think it's like 12,000 steps a day. That's it. So I was like, well, what about the 12 to 90? Is it not like a incentive scheme?
Bank them
I want to bank them.
Yeah.
So yeah, because it's funny, my mum, you know, we just, whenever we say something, it's like, how many steps have you done today? And then I'll do something like this, and she's like, how many steps? I was like, 90,000. 90,000! I love it. It's such a good way of like, it's like a good metric.
Yeah, it is.
But, and then,
that's a lot. So that indicates that's probably by the level of climbing and descending you do, because
some of it is like
you're not striding out, are you?
Yeah, some of it's hands and knees. So as an example, when you get to like the steep bits of each of the climbs, like my mate Dutch, you met, he screenshotted it afterwards and like circled the 3 points where my pace dropped to 0 and was like, fucking hell.
That's kind, isn't it?
You were like, you must have been rock climbing at these points. I was like, well, I do remember walking to the hill and then being like, my legs are tired, I'm just going to lie down and grab like 2 bars to eat. And I remember literally lying down on wet grass, just in my back. Just back was a bit sore, hamstrings were sore, lay down on the grass, just looking at the views, ate a couple of bars, had a drink, and the people walked past me like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, fine.
Just taking it all in.
And I got up, and you know what? Legs just had 5 minutes off the legs.
Yeah,
and
I think that's the
a bit
key,
more
isn't
food when I wasn't eating and moving at the same time. But yeah, absolutely, mate, it was awesome. And yeah, me and Gabby just kind of, I was still running towards the end. So I probably did the last few miles was a run. You know, I had enough energy to kind of like, you know, pick him up when he needed it, and same vice versa. And I decided to stick with him in the end because it was just I wanted to finish. And then when we found out we both got silver medals, I was like, well, supported someone else. And like for me, I wanted the company in the dark as well, just so I bounce off and we were just chatting shit. Finished and got silver medal. I was like, well, all of it's tick now. When if I'd have run off, and he said, because he was really happy for me to, you know, you're going without, you know, you're faster down the hills, you can definitely beat those people that are catching us up, you can definitely do it. So I was like, it's not the point. Yeah, it's not the point. And you know what? I got all 3 boxes ticks. So,
it's incredible.
And then so 48.2 miles is now the distance PB, 14,000 feet of climbing, which beats the Welsh 3,000 elevation that we did. And did it, 16 hours 40, I think, 139th, I think. I'm going to pull this up later. I can't actually remember. And then now we've just got to look for, get some good photos. They got a race, so this is our race, our runners t-shirt.
New t-shirts.
So New Pangea Run Club. So I asked the event organisers on an email, could they change my affiliation, because we weren't really up and running with this when I signed up to it, and they were like, yeah, fine. So New Pangea Run Club's now as its first finisher in an ultra. We're associated, we're on the map. The clothing picked up, so that's the runner's t-shirt, and there's an oversized baggy tee that was really nice. Ink's personalised and Thatcher, thanks very much. But yeah, you just get recognised.
People were interested,
like at the start, before, even when I was in like the Spa shop in Betsy-Croydon, there's like a bakery, and Kit wanted to get a cake, so we went.
Did you just do a tour of like convenience stores? Is that the Co-op Spa shop?
That's it. That's what the race was. Yeah, so it's just this. Yeah, it was wicked, and there's a couple of people in there that said they did it last year. Said, is it your first time? This one's a big one. This is brutal. we got to checkpoint 2 last time, and I was like, checkpoint 2, okay, there's 5 checkpoints, okay, and then there's the finish. But I was really pleased. I was stronger than I thought. The specific climbing stuff paid massive dividends. I think the mental check-ins I did and my awareness of myself paid off massively. Just giving myself the time of day, accepting the environment, being completely present for like 17 hours, and like feeling how you were feeling. I was starting to feel tired now. Oh, my head, that rock looks like a skull. Oh, I'm getting a bit tired now. Or I'm tripping on my feet. Oh, I need to pick my feet up. I'm getting lazy. I'm getting tired. It's all just knowledge of how I work now.
That self-awareness piece.
Yeah, back in the back.
And accepting it. Not being frustrated, not being angry, just accepting where
if you can do something about it, do something about it. Like, and just being in control, being within yourself. So that was wicked. And the weather was perfect. It wasn't too hot, wasn't too cold. And into the night stage, it was great. And then just jogged in as we got towards the end. Jogged down through the pack. And ran over the line, picked up a medal. It was silver, extra bonus. And then got a picture. And then me and Lucy went and Kit. Lucy and Kit met with Sandees. Got to the start line, saw them. I saw her at the finish line. And then we just drove home. And then Sunday I couldn't really get on my feet too much to start with, but I think it was just the immediate get out of bed. Everything's still a bit bruised and a bit tired. But it's just kind of made a point to stretch, made a point to eat loads. So we had a roast dinner on Sunday and a pint of cider at the pub, followed by a massive fish and chips and fish cake that night.
Brilliant.
And a massive homemade lemon meringue pie at the pub as well. It was amazing. And then the next day, breakfast, a couple of bites of toast, and then in Besacoy had a massive hummus, falafel, pitta, salady vegetable thing, which was wicked. And then had something called an oggy when we stopped off in I couldn't remember.
Which convenience store was that?
Llangollen.
£3,000.
Still want one of those.
Well, see, I mean, I've got some stuff on here.
That's recorded again.
That's recorded, is it? Right, okay. I mean, I've got like Thatcham 5Ks on there and stuff.
That's cool.
Right the way through to marathons.
Yeah.
That's the Dartmoor one. We'll do that one day.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well, there's a 50 miler, I think, or a 50K.
There's some really cool medals from the other GB Ultras. You can like do there's like 4 of them, and then you get a belt.
I was going to say, is it belt buckle one, like the Leadville?
Something like that. And there's also a massive one. There's like a lion's head, and it's one in England, Scotland, and Wales. So
right.
So there's like whole section ones you could do.
Oh, blimey.
So that might be what I'm thinking about maybe next, if you fancy joining. But anyway.
Yeah, I do. I'm desperate to do some longer stuff again. I haven't.
We're back anyway. The GoPro overheated, so it's now back on. We're just.
What were we talking about when the camera went off? Kit list. What you had to carry with you?
That's it. So you had to have an emergency set of kit, basically. They said they were going to check your bag before you left, and they said they were going to check your bag midway at checkpoints, but they didn't. Other than like a nav check.
Yeah, I've had that before. We're going to be doing kit checks, and they never do.
But to be honest, it makes you think about what you're taking.
Yeah.
And so it was like you had to have a secondary warm layer, waterproof trousers, a secondary source of light, so like at least 25 lumens. So I just had my other head torch, which was battery powered with spare batteries. They have like a physical compass, a whistle. Yeah,
they don't like it on your phone. The compass on the phone, do they? These things.
They're not that reliable, to be fair. So there's a few other bits. So you just put that in a dry bag, stash it away. I had my waterproof coat. A few other little bits and pieces. Eye drops for me because I've got this like really dry eye syndrome. So
do you run in your specs?
I did. I've started to. I don't normally do any sport in my glasses, and the last 2 ultras I've done, I have, and because sometimes if I don't wear my glasses and I'm straining, and I get a headache.
Yeah,
and that's the last thing.
Another thing to think about. So, I suppose you've got prescription sunglasses as well if you need to. Check them out.
Yeah, but I mean, and I took them with me, but never put them on because the weather just didn't dictate. It wasn't sunny enough at all. But no, it was so you just take a little bag, and then it's obviously I took a bladder, so that was water. So I sweat profusely, so. I needed the water. Took 2 bottles for electrolytes. And then just checkpoints, you just aid stations, and you just go all the way around. But finished about, I think it was just before 11 o'clock, set up at 6:15, finished at 11 o'clock that evening. Lucy was saying, got to like 5 o'clock, she was like, oh, he's getting close, he's done the 3 big climb, he's getting close. Then
still 5 hours to go.
Well, 11, no, still 6 hours to go. Like, that's a long way.
The app, the tracking app was really good, and it gave a projected finish time.
Oh yeah.
But obviously, I don't.
When you're all really fresh, it's like, I'll finish it at 9 o'clock or whatever.
But and I don't know quite how it predicted it, but it was kind of fluctuating your finish time. And then I was like, oh God, he's going to make the calf, is he? And you would have easily made that, but yeah.
Yeah, so I think I was 3-4 hours inside the car.
Yeah.
I was just chuffed. The whole felt great. The whole experience was awesome. Honestly, I'm looking forward to seeing the race photos. It was a really well organised race, to be fair, as well.
And what company do that?
It was GB Ultras.
I don't think I've heard of them.
No, they're
not one of the big. Are they one of the big ones?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, they run them all over. I've heard good things. Some other like ultra runners that I've met in the past, like Wayne Smith, used to work with him. He's just started doing hundreds now, 100 milers, and he's done his second one now in this year.
God.
Yeah, so he did his RAB 1er. He finished that, the one I
did down the south coast.
He finished that. That was 85 odd miles. I think that was the furthest he'd run. Then he did 100, which was the Thames Path 100.
Oh yeah, Carrie's done that. My wife's done that.
And then he's just finished another 100, 106
that's 100
miles.
K. Thames Towpath 100.
Oh, it's not that one. It's 100 miler, but does it? Definitely 100 miles.
Just
beast. But he was saying, "Oh, I really want to do a GB Ultra one," so because I've heard good things. So I think they're pretty good. And yeah, I saw them all at the cafe when we stopped at Betscourt afterwards. I think that's say they have to stay up the whole time, right, and make sure that all the last people that are finishing.
I suppose big safety responsibility.
Yeah, so they were like half jaded because they're flipping fueled up and coffee. They were having their lunch before heading home, but it was good. They were all nice guys. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
I look for the next one. I just want to see the race photos because honestly, the scenery. Have you ever spent much time up in Snowdonia?
I've never been to Snowdonia.
You've never been to Snowdonia?
I'm going to probably be open and honest about my bias. The only time I used to travel into Wales was to play rugby, and usually quite successfully. But so I've not.
Oh, wow,
I was either playing rugby or watching rugby, so I quite like going to the old whatever the Millennium Stadium's called now, Municipality. Yeah. But
you've got to change that.
I know.
So are the tours on Dartmoor the highest like kind of peaks that you've seen?
In this country, yeah. Yes.
Oh yeah, of course you've done the pool, haven't you? But
so I've done some altitude. I mean, I say altitude stuff. It makes it sound like I'm some sort of adventure. I've done about 3,500-4,000 meters stuff in Nepal.
Yeah, that's pretty high.
It's higher than anything in this country. Yeah. So you feel the altitude at that sort of height. But yeah. I do like it.
Yeah, to show you the race photos. We'll have to go up there, mate.
Definitely.
It's different. It's different league stuff. It's wicked.
Yeah. I weigh over 100 kilos, so I've always found the climbing aspect quite challenging. But so I've kind of.
I know you're steady state and you're Mr. Fitness.
I know. I'm waiting to get on the scales and be dipping under 100 kilograms for the first time since I was probably about 14, with the exception of when we finished the row. But I don't know what climbing I did on that Dartmoor marathon. I'll have a look. But it's a good one. But my idea of a perfect run is like smooth tarmac, zero gradient. And I know everybody else, the true runners, find that really boring.
Yeah, I just can't think so my body will let me down. Like my Achilles will go, all the imbalances show up, I'll get injured.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Yeah. So I think that runner's high stuff comes from doing it in a place where, that euphoria in a place where it's striking and interesting and
when you're just out in the environment and like just the mountains, it was unbelievable. It was so cool. So I'm completely chilled. I'm zen now. Set out to do what I wanted to do. Had a great time. Learned a lot about myself again. Achieved it. Honestly, there were bits where I was suffering a little bit and kind of walking up hills, and I just literally was like 4 seconds in, 4 seconds out.
Did a bit of box breathing.
Nose breathing. And it just. Honestly, I know it's stupid, but it did just reset it. But you weren't really aware of it. You did the breathing, then something happened to distract you, then you carried on, and then an hour later you were like,
"Oh, that was all right."
Oh,
yeah, that was good.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Honestly, so what we're going out to try and help other people reach is it works.
And you don't have to do 50-mile trail marathons to reach that.
You can do whatever you want to do. But yeah, I love that.
Oh, that's cool. Right, so timescale for next challenge? Have you put a thought about it? Is it this year? Is it spring?
Not sure.
Don't know yet.
I think I want to do another run. But I think for me, I want to do Wales Week.
Oh, this is your
spring next year.
Okay.
So I think in my head, start from Pembrokeshire, run back to Monmouthshire.
Mm-hmm.
Works out as about 30 miles a day.
How many days?
5 days.
Ooh.
It's about 150 miles. The terrain, it'll be quite hilly, but not like what I've just done hilly.
Mm-hmm.
It will just be, it will suck it out of you, and it'll be the repetitive. So, but I think I want to experience a multi-day, and I love the idea of running across the country.
Yeah.
So that'd be cool. And if we can get the support vehicles, and if we can camp out and make it like a proper social thing, and everyone's, we could have people. If your Achilles is better, you could do like one of the days or two, or the first day, the finish, or.
I have a half marathon booked in March.
There you go, good training for that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, just get other people if they want to join, if they want to camp out, if they want to experience it. I've just got this idea in my head of Wales Week.
Yeah.
So that's something I think I want to gear up as a bit of a new Pangea event.
Definitely, that sounds great.
And then cycling, John O'Groats to Land's End, that'd be a good one, I think. Maybe next year.
Yeah.
Don't know how you're feeling about that.
Yeah,
You're
definitely.
doing a lot of cycling.
Well, I haven't this last few weeks, but I do need to get on a bike because I've got that blinking Ironman in October next year.
Oh yeah.
So
where is that? Barcelona?
Barcelona, yeah.
Mate, well that'd be a good trip, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
We're off to La Gomera this year. Back to the race start, aren't we?
Yes. And I should be running properly by then outside.
Yes.
So we can go and do some stuff.
Because that's one I wanted to run across La Gomera. That was the other one.
Oh yeah.
So if you were able to, we'll hire the car.
Oh, what, in December? You want to do it this year?
This year, yeah. So
how many miles is that?
I think it's only 22, 23.
Okay, I might be driving the hire car.
Yeah. So maybe you drop me off first thing. Maybe you can meet me at certain checkpoints.
Maybe, yeah. I can come up,
the finish and have the
turn up with some Fanta 11s or something.
Oh, mate, definitely.
flat Fanta 11s.
Well, I could film the footage of running it. You could film the footage of.
Yeah, good idea.
Crew
good idea.
And then that'd be cool. So I think that'd be a good kind of 6-7 hours, I reckon.
Yeah, La Gomera's a striking landscape. I've done a little bit of walking on La Gomera, but it was an organised walk, and I think I was probably the youngest by about 30 years. So you were able to take in the scenery, but it did take us 4 hours to do sort of 10k. So
maybe that's the next one.
Yeah.
Run across La Gomera.
Yeah.
That's the next one.
Yeah. I'll have a look at some footpaths and stuff, because there are footpaths.
Yeah, that turns into foresty jungle.
It is. There's a jungle. There's a rainforest on it, believe it or not. And that's the bit I walked through. Yeah, it's beautiful, striking, volcanic, incredible place.
New Pangea's first international trip back to the start line. You want to come say hello? Say hello.
Yeah.
We'll be saying hello to everyone.
Loads of rowers.
Yeah. But yeah.
Oh, that's all exciting stuff.
What
Cool.
about you? What's your next?
So I'm peaking now at parkrun, 5k outside a week. That's all I'm letting myself do, and then I'm doing a little bit more on the treadmill just to keep mine's about keeping my stride, my cadence really short, because I'm trying to sort out my right Achilles, and I'm actually listening to the physios this time. So the plan is to between now and the end of the month just keep parkrun going in that state, sort of same state. Then I'm going to build the mileage. Between then and Christmas, I like to do. There's a local. There's a wasp in here now. 10-mile race that is called the Gut Buster that I've done a few times.
Oh yeah.
Which is really good fun. Although there's some quite good runners do it, so I tend to come. Literally, they're like waiting for me to finish so they can pack up and leave the August. That's an exaggeration. But you get a mulled wine and a mince pie at the end. I like this. So I might aim for a 10-miler in December.
Awesome.
Then I've got a Reading half in March, which, I mean, really conveniently, my wife's thrilled, falls on her birthday. Anyway, it's a treat, isn't it, coming into Reading and watching me waddle around Reading Town Centre. And then I'm literally into Ironman prep for October.
Yeah, that's cool. You got a programme?
I've got a book on Ironman. So again, like you,
probably should be more scientific about how it all works.
Well, no, I wasn't going to say that. I just want to finish. I don't need to set any world records I'm not capable of setting any world records in triathlon stakes, but it's about that completion thing for me. And I think that Ironman, if I do manage to get to the start line and complete it, that will just be a tick. I've done an Ironman. I'm always really conscious when I get overtaken at parkrun of seeing the M. tattoos. So lots of people that complete Ironmans have got a tattoo on the back of their calf, and it's an M with a dot, the M. tattoo, and you feel slightly better about people that overtake you that have got these tattoos. So
a few of them I saw at the weekend.
Oh, did you? Yeah. And you think, oh, you're a serious endurance athlete.
Yeah. We
need to propose something for ocean rowing that allows us to. You don't have to like wedge it into conversations unnecessarily. If I mention I rode the Atlantic, actually I'll just get a tattoo so that everybody knows.
Yeah, I rode the Atlantic.
Yes. So that's the plan, and then I'm thinking of getting back in a rowing boat, and that preparation will start probably after that Ironman, all being well.
2026 onwards.
2026, 2027, yeah. And so the end of 2027, perhaps sitting in a rowing boat.
Awesome. Yeah,
mate. Should be lush.
That's like I said to you when I walked through the front door. It wasn't the same level of elation, but it was the same type. It was achieving something that you thought was. You were struggling. It's going to be hard. You weren't sure if you were going to finish, but actually you learned a lot. It took a lot of effort. You did it, and it was just like that. Oh.
Yeah. Yes.
You're just chilled. You're just happy where you're at. You're just like.
And I think we're quite similar in that vein. Is that moment, and I think, and without being too philosophical, life is about those moments.
Yeah.
But it's about
everyone needs to experience those.
That journey too. So it's not about I completed
You've earned it, right?
Yeah. So it's about that. So that moment at the end, and it is this adrenaline dump and this huge sense of achievement. But all those moments leading up to that is part of that process. I think it's fascinating.
Yeah. And I'm very conscious that. There's a few things that I get impacted by, like when I was at work in construction, I used to get seasonal, like when it got dark earlier and it was winter and cold, my mood used to just drop off, and I was really affected by that. Haven't found that so much yet. I know we're just coming into it, but obviously the way we're structured now is a bit different. So I'm conscious I'm going to see how that is this year. And then what was the other thing? I can't remember what I was going to say then.
Okay. Yeah, the season affective stuff is interesting. I must admit, literally when we went from August into September, the weather changed. Actually, this last week's been lovely, so it's been really, really nice. But I was just like, back to UK autumn, winter, literally thinking, I'm not going to be able to get out on the river. But actually, I think we've got another few weeks of perhaps at least some temperate sun. And I did manage to get a sunburnt forehead on Sunday, slightly pink forehead, so we're still all right. Yeah. And we've got December to look forward to with some boost off vitamin D stuff when we're down in the Canaries,
off the west coast of Africa. I was going to say what I forgot to say then was the post-event blues. That's a very real thing because you target something, you're training, everything, you're gearing up, you're looking forward for so long, and then it happens. And if you achieve it, or if you don't, or whatever, but then you're then a bit like in limbo because you've been targeting something for so long, and you're like, well, I've lost all sense of purpose.
Yeah, definitely.
I think work for me was a very big distraction, so you didn't really think about it, but actually, I need something else to
think about.
Yeah, so I think it's good to always have a target afterwards to keep your mind moving forwards rather than just go into the blues or slump and unhappy or potentially depressed. Yeah,
or even that acknowledgement piece. I'm going to feel a bit shit for a couple of weeks. I'm going to sit with this for a minute, and I'm going to acknowledge it, and I know that I will come through this.
And it will pass. Yeah.
Definitely, and I don't think that just applies to sporty stuff. When I used to do big events at work, you get to the end and you'd feel flat for a couple of weeks. Yeah. And I think it's that marathon blues, post-event blues. Yeah. I don't really remember at the end of the road feeling. I think we were just so dazed and confused when we got on.
I think I did, but again, I think because I went straight back into work and work at construction was just so mental.
Full on. Yeah.
I just didn't have any bandwidth for anything else. Because remember when we went to that summer ball, organised by Atlantic Campaigns?
Yes.
Speaking to some people like Lasse or whoever else, and not Lasse in particular, but some of the other crews. So, how are you getting on? You back at work? What are you up to? No. not working yet. I'm just enjoying the height, and I'm thinking, I've been back for 6 months.
I've missed the trick here.
Yeah, I've missed the trick. I haven't done this properly. So there's something to be said for that, letting yourself acknowledge what you did. Because again, I don't think I did. I don't think I really acknowledged it. I think I just carried on, just moved through, got to pay the mortgage, got to get the bills, I mean, construction is what I do.
Life.
Yeah, and just didn't really ever acknowledge what we actually did.
Well, when I see people doing it now, I think that's incredible. Yeah. That's incredible. Yeah. And then I think, I did that. And you forget. You do forget.
Yeah.
So,
all good.
So, yeah.
Anyway, here we go.
Right.
To the next one then, guys.
I know, this might be better, might be worse than our first go at it, but
see if we can upload them now.
I'll listen to him swearing now for the next 2 hours trying to edit it.
Cheers.